Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another wonderful season of Jaguars basketball. And we've got a tournament here for you tonight. My name is Blake Collins alongside Robert Ambrose to bring you all the action here at the Christenberry Fieldhouse. The first contest we have on the docket, Robert, is Barton College going toe-to-toe with Southern Wesleyan University, and it's gonna be a raucous matchup to start off the basketball portion of the exhibition season here at the Christenberry.
Oh yeah.
With these two squads going toe to toe.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jaguars we'll have a doubleheader today and tomorrow, with 2 games obviously each, and Jaguars will play in the second game of each doubleheader today and tomorrow as part of the tournament. So the first game today, Jaguars will see a familiar conference opponent in the Braves UNC Pembroke. They'll play in the first game of each doubleheader today and tomorrow. So today, here in the first game, it'll be the Braves taking on Southern Wesleyan. And for the Braves, they'll get a little taste of playing on this floor, which they will be doing later this season on January 16th of 2019. So they'll get a little taste of playing here before conference play starts, and the Jaguars will get a little sneak peek of what that will be like here watching them. They are in the house watching this one, getting ready for their game tonight as well.
Now, let me ask you this too, Robert. Since this is a tournament atmosphere, and a tournament-like atmosphere with the anticipation for and the intensity driven up, what kind of anticipation do both teams have? And not only that, but what do you look to see here tonight from both squads entering into the opening contest for the Conference Carolina Challenge here at Christenberry Fieldhouse?
Well, there's several things that you're going to see. There's going to be a sense of urgency for all the teams here, and the reason for that is they haven't played a regular season game since last March in a lot of cases. So it's been a while, and they're ready to get back out on the floor. And also, with it being a new season and a lot of new players and shuffling on the roster as there is every year, there's always a lot of questions on how the teams are going to gel. And a lot of those questions obviously take most of the season to be answered. You're not going to get them all answered today, but you'll see where they're at and see how much more work they have to do later on in the season. That all comes to fruition in the season openers, and that's going to show tonight for every team. And the Jaguars have a lot of new faces this year looking ahead to tonight's game. They will return Brianna Middleton, Mallory Myers, and Manisha Goldsboro. They're all seniors, so a lot of talent lost from last year's team. It was a rough season last year for the Jaguars. They were 2-20 in conference play, 4-22 overall, a rough season, and the players they have coming back are looking to drastically improve that this year, and they're all seniors as well, so this is their last go-around under second-year head coach Millette Green, who's also looking to build things up after a tough rebuilding year for her last year in her first season.
Yeah, absolutely, but when you look at these two teams specifically, look for a lot of mixing up between the two-pointer and three-pointer, mixing up the offense a little bit, and then try to drive down the lane, and not only that, but then maybe set up with a lane drive into the basket, then dish it out on the assist for a three to set up strategic plays like that to get the advantage. And you cannot count out also, Robert, the effervescent fast break opportunities that they can converge on points.
Yes, the transitions game is huge. If you're able to get down court fast, that's really tremendous to be able to get points before you have to set up and give the other team a chance to stop you. I think that's going to be an important factor here this weekend.
Absolutely. It is the first game of the season here at Christenberry Fieldhouse, and not only that, but it's the first tournament to enter exhibition play here at Christenberry, but it is the Conference Carolina Challenge on deck and on tap. You don't want to go anywhere because it is going to be a raucous and a awesome start to this tournament. We will be right back here in about roughly 2 or 3 minutes to see what these two teams have and show you guys as well as to Barton style of play and Southern Wesleyan style of play, but we will be right back at you on the flip side. say that's thank you for sticking around with us, and as we shoot on back in here to the Christenberry Fieldhouse, the Braves have a 6-point advantage over the Southern Wesleyan Warriors. And Robert, go over just a tad of what some of the first half stats were like.
Okay, well, so far obviously the lead is in favor of the Braves, 31-25, and there's a little bit of disparity from the field. I'd say this is one of the difference. The Braves shooting over 40% from the field, and the Warriors have hit on a third, exactly 1/3 of their field goal attempts, 11 for 33. And the Warriors are a lot more aggressive. They like to shoot from three quite a lot, and of those 33 shot attempts, 19 of them were threes, and they've only made 2 of them. So from 2-point range, they're 9 of 14, doing a lot better, but they've really struggled from beyond the arc, and that's really hurt. And the Braves are a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. The Warriors 1 for 2, so they haven't had as many opportunities in that sense as the Braves. So what's hurting the Warriors is their shooting percentage, especially from beyond the arc. They're doing okay, of course, inside the paint. And I'd say a big reason for that is the Braves have very good perimeter defense, and there were a few times where the Warriors weren't really able to get the ball in the perimeter, but when they found someone open, they're able to get it by the defense for an easy layup, and that's why perfect 6-6, as I mentioned before, in the first half. And they're 1 for 2 on this particular trip.
And so now you've got Southern Wesleyan with the ball, working the perimeter, trying to find an open lane to mosey through, but they cannot. So they settle for a 3 there, but cannot convert.
The Braves know the Warriors' weakness of beyond the arc, the way things are going this one, and yet another travel. And that's why they've been able to do such a good job guarding the perimeter and forcing those tough shots that the Warriors have just not been able to knock down.
Well, not only that too, but if Southern Wesleyan were to be able to capitalize on as many times as the Braves have traveled, this game would be a lot closer than what it is right now. But Southern Wesleyan has the ball inside the perimeter, about maybe 8 foot from the court, and they cannot muster up a good clean shot off of the 4-player traffic brought on by the Braves. Good defense down low. At least they stopped them, the penetration down low, but they foul, and now it is 2 free shots for Southern Wesleyan, but the first one cannot find the net.
This has been a relatively clean game in terms of fouls, even though we saw 6 trips to the free throw line and a lane violation here. 6 trips to the free throw line in the first half for the Braves, but overall it's a clean game and there's really no foul trouble, and that's something that makes coaches happy, as they don't really have to reshuffle their rotation much in that sense.
And a fight for the ball. Southern Wesleyan comes up victorious and steals it away from the Braves. Southern Wesleyan down low, backing it out to the perimeter, trying to open up a clearer shot than what Richardson had at the top of the key, and they cannot as they travel, and now the Braves have possession after another travel that burns Southern Wesleyan.
And a huge mental mistake that time by the Braves as they pass it back court, forgetting that they're already over the half-court line, and a over and back and a bad turnover there.
You look at it now, they're driving down low. Is Southern Wesleyan. They pass it onto the near side here, on top of the perimeter, on top of the key. And then the lane was stuffed by the Braves, and it's looking like a blocking foul. We haven't seen many of those committed this game, but the ones that they have committed, there's been some points that have been capitalized once those fouls are committed, and this sets it up beautifully for Southern Wesleyan here to maybe put 2 more points on the board.
Tiana Sherman hits on the first.
Now Sherman for the second attempt. It's all money on that shot. As now you pass it back down to the wing, to the near side here. They work it back across up top, shoot it down low, and then back out to the near side wing. And the Braves, after all that passing and trying to confuse Southern Wesleyan, the defense stands for Southern Wesleyan. And now on offense, you got a tough contest down low, and the Braves went out but on that possession, but a foul was called, and now Southern Wesleyan again at the line looking to tie this contest up. First one was too long there from Southern Wesleyan. See a substitution come in for Southern Wesleyan. We will get you that when we can. And the second shot from Jacobson is good, and now it's 32-31 with a slim 1-point advantage going to the Braves. A rim rattler there from the Braves, but no dice, as Southern Wesleyan now are fired up and trying to drive down the lane. Richardson dishes it back out up top, trying to slow down the Braves defense and try to catch them out of whack on the Braves defense to try to score, but they lose control of the ball. And then to avoid a shot clock violation there, Robert, a misfire that went long.
Well, once again, the Braves guarding the perimeter, and the Warriors just unable to get it inside, and they're forced to have to take the three-pointer that they've struggled with all game long.
It's looking like for both squads here, Robert, that the defenses for both the Braves and the Warriors are strong in this game. And that shot, with everybody collapsing into the interior, with the only person on the near side perimeter was the Braves with the shot up, but to no avail. A very crystal clear look at it, but just short. And now the Braves and the Warriors, as we enter into a timeout, it is a very, very close game here, Robert, 32-31.
Yes, it is, Blake.
So now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a break with them, and we will be right back with you on the flip side right after this. Lee brings the ball out for the Warriors. Then they pass it on down to Richardson, who dishes it back out to Ray, who gets it back out to the perimeter. They go down low once again, and Burnett volleys up a shot right there, but to no avail. And now the Braves, a little bit of a minor fast break there, try to do some damage, but quick defense by Southern Wesleyan will not allow them to finish off on that damage. But it is 32-31 here in the third period, a very close contest. And Ray shoots up a three, but no money. And the Braves, off of a defense that was trying to catch back up with the speed of the Braves on that possession, cannot do so, as that layup was off the glass, and a simple 2-point spreads this lead out to 3, 31-34. Working around the perimeter yet again. The Braves try to anticipate where the ball is going to be before it actually gets there, And that's usually a good strategy, but that time already came back to haunt them.
Well, the Braves, they try to get the perimeter. This time the Warriors do a better job getting it inside, but the traveling has been an issue on both sides here in this one, and it continues here.
Yeah, the Braves, they've traveled at least 3 times to my count, and each individual time, Southern Wesleyan has been able to capitalize only once on the travels, and that's one of the keys that for Southern Wesleyan, if they see a mental mistake like that the Braves commit, come back and try to capitalize on it. And as you see right there, a block attempt was made by the Warriors, but they didn't get all ball on that stance, Robert. They got a little bit of hand.
Yeah, and that's the result of the foul right there. It's like in football when you attack the punter, and if you don't get a piece of ball but you hit the punter, it's a penalty.
Any type of slight contact there, and you will get called. Especially in plain sight like it was right there and right in front of the referee. And now Ray driving down low with authority, but that defense stands tight and stringent for the Braves, but on offense they cannot convert on their defensive stop, and a second chance rebound allows for the 2 to drop in, and the Braves extend their lead here by 6. This is tied for the largest lead in this game to this point. Any thoughts on what the Braves are doing and how the Warriors can come back?
Well, the Warriors need, even though they're forced to take a lot of tough threes, if they're able to start making them down, making them fall, they can turn things around in a heartbeat if they can get on a roll there, what they haven't been able to all game long. And the Warriors are still right within striking distance. They're down 6 like they were at halftime, but this game has been close throughout, and it was very back and forth up until the final moments of the first half, and the second half itself has also been back and forth. So, basketball is a game of runs. There has not been many of those in this game yet, but they can come at any time from any team.
You want to see more heart, you want to see more fight, you want to see more grit on a basketball court, look no further than this game right here. But to see more of that action, you will have to wait until we come back to see how this game plays out. So now Southern Wesleyan opens up out of the timeout with the basketball. Ray filters it back out to the perimeter, back down low to where Burnett has the opportunity to drive the ball down further into the interior and possibly convert on 2 points, but she was fouled. Outside of a shooting foul, the Warriors still have possession, and they're reigning over this possession, working the perimeter again, and then anticipating and driving down low. And Richardson yet again stabs the Braves right in the heart with a 2. Now they still lead by 4, 37-33, but that could be the catalyst for the Warriors to come right back.
Yeah, and right after that, they get the rebound on defense off a missed shot, and now they're right back in, and they can cut it to 1 if they can get it a 3. But nonetheless, whether it's a 2 or 3, the goal is to make it a 1-score game. And right now, they draw. So a good job there to try to get it inside, which they've been struggling to do. They're finally able to drive it inside on a screen play. to set up a hole, and they draw a foul as a result on the hand check, and they're in the double bonus, oh, by the way, for the rest of this quarter.
Which serves very well for the shooting ability of Richardson and Southern Wesleyan, as the Braves at this juncture, I mean, they don't have to play perfect, but you would think here, Robert, that they would be more focused and play to a tune of not having fundamental mistakes and fouls that will hurt them in the long run. We'll see how it plays out, but with them being in the double bonus, it's looking like the defense may be playing more careful.
Well, yeah, you don't want to give them any free points, although the fouls will reset. Unlike the men's games, fouls reset every quarter, and this quarter will end in under a minute left now.
Right.
So it's 5 fouls in a quarter, and then it's double bonus. Unlike in the men where it's 10 for double bonus and 7 for 1-and-1. In the women's, there is no 1-and-1. And they're going to get more free throws as you see another hand check. So right now what the Warriors are figuring out is if they can drive inside, which they've been able to figure out how to do with the screenplays. The last 2 times they've been able to draw fouls and chance for freebies.
Yep.
But they've also struggled at the free throw line today, unfortunately.
And with them going into the double bonus and having this opportunity, you would look for that to kind of pick back up here, especially with them down only 3. And free points like that are hard to come by.
Yes, they are, especially when this game has not been all that physical. Not much foul trouble, like I mentioned earlier.
And there you see right there, the ball tried, or the Braves tried to get it past Burnett, but quick reflexes deflected the ball out of bounds, but it resets the Southern Wesleyan defense, and now the Braves inbound it on their side of the court, then get it back over, resetting the Warriors defense again, and it is tough. It is extremely tough, Robert, to guard down low when you've got someone barreling down on you, when you only have a split second to get your base set to either in the deciding factor to take a charge or it be a blocking foul.
Well, you got to do a lot of advanced preparation if you want to set up a charge, and it requires a lot of anticipation as well. And if you're unable to do that, to time that perfectly, it's going to result in a block every time.
Right.
Shot clock is dead for the rest of this quarter.
Yep, because we're now under 20 seconds left in the period. Now Ray distributes the ball out to Richardson. And then Kripstepska dribbles it into the interior, back out, and a humongous 3 at the last split second fails to deliver 3 points for the Warriors. They are only down by 4 as we enter into quarter number 4. You don't want to miss to see if the Warriors can come back or if the Braves can continue to put pressure on the Warriors and put this game away. And the only way to find that out, Robert, is to stay right here and not miss a beat when we come back.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Stay tuned, everybody.
Welcome back into the Conference Carolina Challenge here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. Settle in, get some popcorn, kick back, and relax. Or get some cheese puffs or any snack that you like, because it is going to be a ride from here on out. The Warriors trail this by 4, 40-36, entering into the fourth quarter. Now, as we mentioned before, the women's game is different than the men because it's 4 10-minute quarters, and we're in the midst of the final 10-minute quarter here in the fourth. But then the Warriors come right back and execute a tremendous three on their near side perimeter, and that creates money as they are down by 1, 40-39, and then an offensive foul here, Robert, and the Braves coming out of the gate here seem a little bit on edge and a little bit out of collect.
And that's not going to go well for them, and just barely hanging on to a lead here to start the quarter. And right now the Warriors have been given an opportunity to take the lead for the first time in a while.
See him fire the ball around the perimeter, then deep inside, now back out, and shot by Burnett just hits the lip of the rim and bounces over to the back, and Glass kisses it off to no avail. And the Braves escape that possession with no points and are now on offense to see if they can try to work their way out of a heated situation with only ahead by 1 point here with Southern Wesleyan on fire. And a layup ventures around the rim, and the second chance point on the rebound is good. So now the lead extends to 3. Southern Wesleyan working the perimeter. Now they're dribbling it back out to the perimeter. Ray loses the rock, and then she dishes it back out to Richardson, who has been their point guard all game long. Now Ray fires up a 3, misfires, and then the fast break opportunity there, Robert, kills Southern Wesleyan because the Braves extended out even further on their lead.
Well, the Braves, like I mentioned, they needed to stop the bleeding, and they've done exactly that, retaking a 5-point lead.
Warriors are not done yet and will not die as they have possession now, looking to shorten this lead back into 1 possession. And I believe it is going to be out on the Braves. That was a close call there, Robert, as both hands look to be on the ball. It's the last one to touch it, and it looked like just barely the Braves might have touched that ball last. So it's Warrior possession, and Burnett now back out to Richardson, and before that, LaShawna Lee. And then the Braves come right back in with a layup there to pad their lead even further now, 46-39 with 7:05 to go here in the opening game of the Carolina Challenge. And that shot falls short there from Richardson. Now the Braves offense cannot muster up any points as that 3 is long. Now the Warriors come back. They tried their luck at a 3, and Richardson was just too hard on the shot. And it looked like the Braves there were just trotting along there We'll see what the call is, but it might have been a 10-second backcourt violation.
A timeout was taken by the Braves as they're trying to talk things over. They do seem to have the momentum back in their favor right now. Up 7 here, and now they're going to try and set up closeout mode in the final 6:27 of this one.
Yeah, and they don't want to give an inch to Southern Wesleyan, who is viciously trying to get back into this game. They want to, as we always like to say, batten down the hatchets on defense.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back after this.
.6:20 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Braves a little bit long on the shot there, and the Warriors now have a chance to close the gap. Burnett inside cannot create money. And a miscalculation there on the speed of the ball by the Braves, and the possession is retained by the Warriors. Warriors trying to orchestrate a comeback here, working the perimeter, seeing if they can drive into the lanes. But the defense of the Braves, Robert, all game long, as you see a 3 there by the Warriors, close the distance to 4 now. But the defense for the Braves in the interior has been lights out this game.
Well, it has, and if the Warriors, they get the ball back here, if they can get those threes going, game can be turned around in a heartbeat, like I said. So that's only the third of the threes here in this one.
And now Richardson with the ball. Kristepsa with the pass up the Ray.
This time they're not able to get a shot that they liked, and also took their eye off the shot clock and results in a turnover.
Trying to make too many things happen, held on to it just a wee tad too long. And now the Warriors are trying to keep the score at bay, 46-42. The Braves have it on the perimeter though, charging as they pass it into the interior around 4 different Warriors. Then the shot on the perimeter coming out of the escape is no good. And then the second chance rebound delivers a pretty far out to there, 15-footer there from the Braves. And now it is 49-42 with under 5 minutes to play here in the opening game in this Carolina Challenge.
This being the opener, look forward to the second game as the Jaguars take on Barton here tonight. Jaguars will take on the Warriors the second game tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time, and the Braves will, of course, take on Barton at 2 tomorrow in the first game. Jaguar men opening up this season with a weekend tournament on the road in the Barton Classic.
Yep.
They're taking on Mount Olive right now as we speak. and they take on Barton tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And that shot by Ray was nailed down, as it is now 49-44. And the Warriors feel now like they have the momentum and are coming back strong, but if the Braves have anything to say about it, they are trying to not allow a comeback to happen, but the Warriors defense again steps up, and then a fast break opportunity develops, but the Braves defense responds very well and does not allow any more damage to be done.
And the Braves steal it right back, and it gets kicked out of bounds by the Warriors, so it'll be Braves ball up 5 with just over 3 to play here in regulation.
Now you've got Braves in a semi-tight defense for the Warriors, contesting every movement. Not necessarily saying a major trap just yet, but you've got a foul nonetheless on the Warriors, and the Braves, after a pick right there to spring out, the Braves on the near side filter it back out to the outside, come back on the perimeter near side, and then find the opening on the other side of the a little bit below the perimeter in two-point land, and they convert as it's 51-44.
And that one was just inside the arc, so a 2. And another costly turnover.
Yeah, as that basket does not count, an easy layup, but was discarded by that foul that was committed, offensive foul by the Warriors, and it is now Brave basketball with 2 and change to go. 2-point shot cannot convert, and right now, Robert, the Braves are feeling good, up by 7 with 2 remaining.
Well, they can try and milk the clock, and pretty soon, as an and one opportunity for Sadeja Love as she goes to the basket, scores and draws the foul, and this is a chance for the Braves to go up by 10, which would be their largest of the game. But with it being closeout mode for the Braves, you just wonder at what point, if you're the Warriors, would you start fouling, if at all? Usually you don't foul if you're down 10 for the first time in this game, which they are now, as the free throw is good and a timeout taken. But like, how much closer would it have to be for them to start fouling?
You would think right away, because here's the thing. We've seen crazier things happen, but being down by 10, you still have 2 minutes to go. So if you foul and they miss on 2 and convert on 1, and you hit 2, you get a 2 for 1.
Yes.
You can do that all day long.
You absolutely
and catch
can.
back up. So,
and if they make both free throws and you hit 3s, which the Warriors have struggled with today,
yeah,
but if they can get it going, it's also a 2 for 1.
Absolutely. And then so if you can play that game and go on a small run, then yeah, I'd start fouling right now and then slowly work your way back in it, because the Braves have, as we talked about earlier, have been semi-okay from behind the arc, and they haven't been that accurate as well. So it's a good strategy to kind of implement here. We'll see how it goes, but as of right now, as you mentioned, the Warriors down by 10 with a chance here right now to crush this lead on down, but you can't hold on to the ball here too long, Robert.
No, you gotta. The clock's your enemy if you're the Warriors.
And now the Warriors are in a desperate situation as they're down by 10, and now the Braves are just looking to wind down this clock. 1:25 left to go in the game, trailing by 10, and it's looking like the Braves are gonna drain this for all that it's worth. And a drive at 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock results in a foul. So with 4 seconds left, Robert, not near enough time to set up a play, so it may be just time to dribble and catch and shoot.
And they're unable to do that, and now you got to just get a quick tip in with 1 second on the shot clock here.
So it's almost like an alley-oop from
yes.
foul territory.
But the good news, if you're the Braves, regardless of what comes out of this, you'll be happy to run the clock down as much as you could.
Absolutely. Now, I have a question for you. All right?
All right.
So that's something that I've always wondered about. Would you actually, on like shot clock violations like that, would you consider doing something like attaching like free throw opportunities to that?
What do you mean?
Because it's a turnover of possession. Yes, but if you hang on to it for that long and are not keeping an eye on the shot clock, I kind of would like to see maybe a little bit of free throws going the other way. Like the Braves get 2 free throw attempts out of that.
Oh, like the defense, if you force the other team in the shot clock violation, it's not a foul. That's no.
It's not a foul.
Free throws are when you get fouled.
It's not a foul, yeah. But I mean, when you look at it, if I guess where my thinking is on that, where I'm thinking it is on that, as we're in a timeout here, is it gives the other team the best opportunity to convert on points when the other team milked the clock so much that it doesn't give the opposing team the best situation to convert.
Well, put it this way, if you commit an offensive foul, the other team doesn't shoot free throws, even if you're already in the bonus. It's only on defensive fouls where that applies, so no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's not even, and it's not even a foul.
Right.
So, yeah. No.
So, no, I was just asking because that just entered my mind as a way to maybe kind of restrict even more of shot clock violations happening in the future.
Well, you restrict it by giving the other team the ball. And now the Warriors are officially in foul mode.
Absolutely.
Down 10 with 30.7 to go.
30.7 to go, 54-44 on the score tally. The Braves have 54, Warriors 44, and if they don't just want to let this run out, foul mode is indeed applied.
And so that foul is the 4th team foul this quarter on the Warriors, and that's the last before they put the Braves in the bonus.
Yep, one more in the bonus, and they will have those 2 free throws that we've been talking about.
They also took a lot of time there before fouling, and when you're down 10, that's a lot to lose. And this is the part, if you're getting ready to take the court for warm-ups in the second game, this is the part that's going to drive you crazy, all these fouls when you're just ready to get out there, and you have to sit through it.
First throw is converted, and it is 55-44. Now the Braves up by 11. Make that 12 on the second conversion on the second point free throw. And now Richardson trying to spark some life into the Warrior offense, driving it down, shoots up a 3, comes off the bank short, and doesn't pass go there either. And so now the Braves just wind down the clock. Warriors put up a good fight in the opening 3 quarters of this game, Robert.
Yes, they did. They cut the deficit to 1 when they were down 5 going into the quarter, but they basically stalled after that, and the Braves went into closeout mode, and it was no contest after that. But overall, a good game and a good start to this tournament and this season. And gosh, we look forward to lots of basketball to come.
Absolutely.
In the coming weeks.
And the Braves look strong coming out of the gate. I mean, a few minor things to work on with like maybe a little bit of accuracy and trying to be more accurate on threes and work on your three-point game. But not only that, but trying to open up more opportunities in three-point land and in two-point territory as well.
Yeah, you got good thing is to change it up and do some of each rather than
absolutely
like we saw the Warriors do really well for twos, but really struggled from threes. But they were forced to shoot a lot of threes as well, and they really struggled with it today, and it didn't exactly help their cause.
So the Braves gain a victory in the opening game of this Carolina Challenge. That'll be it for game one here at Christenberry Fieldhouse. For Robert Ambrose, I'm Blake Collins. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you for game number 2 in about roughly 30 minutes. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss it because, as Robert pointed out earlier, it is the Jaguars versus Barton College right here in about 30 minutes.